Tim Clark first to play, BR.
Tim Clark will be first to play, has 196 yards. Both Rory Sabatini and Phil Mickelson drove it over this creek that runs right across the fairway. 310 yards to carry. These guys can light it up.
Flag stick right over top that little mark. Blonde second shot.
He likes it. And with good reason. What a shot. Well, last year, the South African team won the World Cup, but a different team. It was Els and Goosen, and this year it is Sabatini and Clark. Now, Tom's, BR.
Kind of iffy line in the rough, kind of sitting down a little bit. Should be a little flyer. As Curtis said, cannot see the flag at all. Ball well below his feet.
Well, they've been on a tear of late. 57 yesterday for Mickelson and Toms. Tendencies to lose it right.
Well, it came out hot.
Ooh, we got a soft hop and a good hop. So that for Eagle, the Eagle this hole yesterday. Different format.
Tied. Let's go to 10.
Izawa, second shot.
Well, Maruyama clearly laid up. This is a 3-wood from 271. Good looking draw.
Really impressive shot there, Judy.
Very impressive. That second shot plays uphill, and the green really blind to Toshizawa.
To 11. On the tee here of the par 4, David Toms. Just 394 yards, a driver and a sand wedge. 23 times the US have won this event in the 48 playings, formerly known as the Canada Cup, first played in 1953, then known as the World Cup and now the EMC World Cup. Really have dominated the event, and they were deep.
Well, Shigeki came all the way up to the fairway while his partner drove, so his partner, maybe 250 yards away still. Just a sand wedge into this green.
That's why his play is about an hour and a half quicker than 4-ball play, 5.5 hours or so for 4-ball, and you know, under 4 hours, 3.5 maybe even for alternate shot.
Just a little 3/4 shot.
Really struggled with shoulder problems, his right shoulder towards the end of the season, and he's feeling a little better now, as Dr. Job has advised.
In the world rankings that are here, Phil Mickelson and David Toms, they're one shot behind the Japanese team of Shigeki Murayama and Toshi Izawa. And here's Mickelson on the 12th tee. They're one back.
Have to favor the right side, and it's going left.
Should catch the fairway, though, Curtis. This hole today is a 3-shot par 5 earlier in the week. They got there in 2, but with the wind back in their face today, it's a true 3-shot par 5. 289 yards, just trying to lay up the left-hand side. He's lost this one to the right.
Oops.
It'll be okay. It hit that tree on the right side of the fairway, kind of bounced through. Should have a clear shot for the third.
Could have been worse.
Oh, a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm not too sure he's kind of a clear shot. Looks like there's some overhanging branches, but
Thursday morning of a major become linked for a long time because of what happens in the major. Even go back to the history of golf. 60s, Casper and Palmer, U.S. Open. The 80s, you can think of a lot of different players. Fuzzy and Greg Norman at the U.S. Open. Go back to Paul Lawrie in this field. Anytime you mention Paul Laurie's name for the rest of his life, you'll mention Jean Van de Velde, what happened at Carnoustie. Well, these guys are becoming known for being a great U.S. team through the Ryder Cup. This event, you'll probably see them play together at the President's Cup. Both certainly qualify. But they became known together for what happened in the PGA Championship in 2001 when Mickelson had his opportunity trying to get that first major. Didn't get it done. Toms was right there, the surprise guy all week, the hole-in-one on the par 3 on Saturday in the 3rd round, and then the unforgettable layup and save of par on the 18th to hold off Mickelson at the Atlanta Athletic Club. Interesting that they become known together for that alone, but now when you think of Mickelson and Toms, it might be more for their teamwork as opposed to what happened to them at the PGA in '01.
In a lesser tournament that meant just as much to David Toms as when he beat Mickelson at New Orleans, head-to-head, staring right at him at the final hole. So
that being the
hometown
hometown
from
tournament.
183. Excuse me, Mike.
That's KBR. That being the hometown tournament for Toms. That's why it was so important. And a good shot there from David.
And that's a big reason why I put David Toms with Phil Mickelson, knowing full well that David Toms has played eye to eye very well against Phil Mickelson and with him. So you look at those things in the past.
Well, they are top the
Nice.
That's right.
It means something different back home in Australia, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little froth on the top. Toshi Yazawa now. Second shot at the par 4. Has to shake off that double bogey on the last. Refocus.
The hole is playing right into a pretty good breeze right now. That's a 6-iron from 172.
Pretty good indication of how strong that young fella is to be able to hit it beyond the hole.
It's hard. You know, these balls have been jumping off the fairways today. We got 250 to carry that inlet of sand. If you wanted to maybe turn, bust a 2-iron, that's an option too. What do you think about making it 3 out of the ground? You think I'll take something off there? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, how about just stock 3 wood off the ground? The frame.
That's the words of Jim Mackay, Phil's longtime caddy, and a lot of players don't like that much information. Obviously, Phil not one of them. They've got great rapport. They've worked together for now, gosh, almost 12 years. Knew there were options to be played from the tee. We just didn't realize how many.
You're right, Steve. I think this is a good play. Needs to go up the left-hand side, 284 through the fairway. Absolutely perfect.
And long and straight. To 18.
The Argentine team, third for Angel Cabrera. Another nice showing in this event for this team. Cabrera and Romero will finish at 28 under, best score of the finish.
And BR, you were telling me that you think they saw a leaderboard?
Yes, back there on the 15th green, they did see the update that the Japanese team has made double bogey and they have a 1-shot lead.
Think that affected Mickelson's strategy?
Actually, I do. This should be a nice full sandwich for David. Hole location just 6 paces over that bunker. Good looking shot.
There's a reason that Toms plays on the odd number of holes, because he'll play all the scoring shots on the way to the house. A tee shot at 15, the second here at 16, tee shot at 17, the second shot at 18.
It does. I know with the wedges.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that it doesn't keep off.
15.
Well, golf ball talk there from those two about the reaction on the green there. 15T, Izawa.
Well, this 183 is right into the wind. He has hit a 6-iron, and I hope he struck it right on the center because it's a long way.
So does he. Now, Murayama will be working from off the green again. Judy's mentioned it's been about a half dozen times in the last.
Here is the backbone of the team, though. Always in play, always steady, good, solid personality, never gets upset, never too high, never too low. He's a lot stronger inside than sometimes he appears he might be. Looks like a, you know, almost a timid type gentleman, southern gentleman, but he is a bulldog underneath.
These little reeds kind of doing this a little bit.
And Ian, we talked about how he didn't win this year, but he did have 12 top 10s and finished 4th on the money list. And considering how much you get for winning, that's pretty impressive playing.
With 3 wins, including that major win in 2001, 3rd on the money list. So he's had a couple of pretty good seasons. And he's just elevated himself. Everything about David Toms's game has really improved over the last 3 or 4 seasons. Tee shot now at the par 3.
6-iron for David Toms. Today, this hole playing 163 yards. Another good-looking shot.
Beautiful shot right over the top of the flag.
You know how quickly we forget he wasn't even on the Ryder Cup team until he actually won the PGA Championship.
That's right.
18 now.
KJ Choi to get to 31 under par. That would be alone in third.
You know, this game is a lot about physical talent, but I think more so than anything else, it's about personalities and being comfortable with your partner, being able to accept his good shots, bad shots, and he yours.
Not apologize too much.
Love is
in his way. He has two options, though. He can go over if he'd like and try to run the ball up that way, but I think the safer play would be to keep it down. Doesn't have a very good lie and not conducive to try to get the ball up quickly. Ball's well above his feet, so the tendency from that lie is to pull the ball to the left and also come out of the rough. That doesn't help him either.
Well, and the one thing we have to contend with, too, is that ditch is just to the left over in here, so that is what he'll guard against.
Well, there's one good thing. He only has 155 yards all the way back to the hole.
Thinking about something else. 16 for a second.
Japanese 2 back. Make that 1 back. Tom's in trouble. It's not over. Mike?
Those people are going to have to move, Dan.
All of them have to move.
Moving those people who are out, Billy Ray, maybe
a few of the
stay low.
photographers. Yeah, that's what it looks like. They were just inside the ropes trying to take a shot of him, the photographers were, and so looks like he's going to choose to go down low and try to run it up. I think that's a safe play.
I don't see him, Sal. I'm looking. Oh, he's down in the fairway over by...
Yeah, man, probably like a 7 or 6.
Also nice to know that if you do miss the green to the right, you have, as we've talked about, a wonderful pitcher of the golf ball, and Phil Mickelson.
Still. Got 30 on the front, 29 on. 30's the front, though.
The lead is 1. The Japanese team playing the 17th, the par 3.
Yeah, everything on this shot calls for a little pull here. The ball above his feet, the down in the rough.
Needs to be really still, sir. Please. Just don't move.
You know, you get in this situation sometimes you can see a lot of movement or hear a lot of things. Very tense. He pulled it left.
Careful, careful, careful.
USA team made, so they now know that they made 6. It's a shot of 135 yards, a little bit of grass up behind the ball, but if he can just keep from hitting a pull, which you can do from this lie, not that hard.
It looks like a sand wedge, maybe just laying up to the right.
It is a sand wedge, and I think he's just going to rip at it and try to get it on the putting surface.
It's been a good day from just off the green for Murayama. He'll have a chance to put Izawa in position. 3 from there, and they win the EMC World Cup.